Hey everybody, this is Pop's Reviews, and I'm here with another video, and uh, I'm just thankful to have another video going up here. I've been sick for a little bit, and feeling a lot better to make this video here. And as you can see, for my last video, I did a hoops unboxing, and here I am gonna do a bit of a playthrough and review of hoops. Before I do that, I want to give a few shout outs to some people out in YouTube world that I watch and enjoy videos. One is just the basketball genre. Uh, I've seen Dave Gardner make a video for Hoops PC, so please check out his channel, and as well as Giles or Giles Thibault. He did a replay basketball video. Please check out his wonderful channel. He has all kinds of sports. Him and Mr. Dave Gardner, they have all kinds of sports games on their channel. So please check them out. And then of course, ID Jester is also doing a replay basketball video on his channel. So please check out his channel as well. There's wonderful content on there as well. Uh, Still keeping with the basketball genre. Again, I mentioned in my last video, please check out Mr. Steve Tower. After further review, he did a video on hoops basketball, and as well as that I consider the authority on basketball games, Mr. Rod, Tabletop Hoops. Please check out his wonderful channel. All kinds of basketball games, basketball information on his channel, and I just enjoy watching his channel for all the different basketball games. Okay, so with all that said, and of course, there's other wonderful channels out there, Al Red Sox, Mr. Dave Little, solo promoter. Check out all their channels, but we're talking hoops here right now. And so this is the Hoops Pro Basketball game done by ASG Games. And so this here, gonna do a playthrough of it for a bit and then a review. I haven't really seen a whole lot of videos of this game, to be honest, aside from Rod's tabletop games. He's done quite a few videos on this. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a playthrough here. As you can see, I got the Chicago Bulls taking on. First off, I got the 89-90 set that you saw from my unboxing. So I got the 89-90 Chicago Bulls. They're the away team, taking on the Portland Trailblazers, the 89-90 Portland Trailblazers. So if you'll remember from history that the Bulls were knocked out by the Pistons. The Pistons went on to the finals. They became the NBA champs, and they had beaten the Portland Trailblazers in the finals. And this could have been a possible matchup in that finals. Obviously, these two teams met in 1992, and of course, the Bulls, that was part of that was their second championship out of the six that they have. So they did meet, but just not in 1990. So we're gonna play out a little game here as the playthrough, and then I'll do a little review. I'll show you some of the game mechanics of how this game plays. It plays really easy. This is a game that it plays really easy. It's not you don't have to look up a lot of charts. There's a little like it's like a 10-page rule book here for hoops, and again, it's made by Mark. I forget his last name, Versario, I believe it is, if I'm saying that correctly. And this game is, I guess it's based off of, the mechanics are based off of what was Mickey's Fast Break, which was a game I can't remember if it came out in the late 70s to like the mid 80s, I believe. And so the foundation for this game is kind of from that game, but I believe this game is more streamlined. That the guys from Hoops here, they streamlined it a lot better, and it plays a lot quicker. Yeah, so guys, and you're gonna have to bear with me because, like I said, I did have a bit of sickness, so I still have some cough. So I might have a bit of pauses through the video. So just please bear with me as you watch this video. Okay, so to get started here, of course, when you play any basketball game, you're gonna have to have a knowledge of basketball or the sport that you're playing, right? So we're obviously playing a basketball game, so you're gonna have to have a bit of knowledge. A lot of these games, they don't provide you with the all the rules of the NBA or NCAA or whatever you're playing, but so it's good to have a knowledge of basketball. Again, what you'll need is if you want to keep it true to the game and have uh, you know to keep it what's the word, like realistic. I guess that's what I'm saying is you're gonna need a score sheet. So I'm using one from Replay Basketball. That'll do just fine. I believe on the actual ASG site you can download I think a basketball score sheet from their site, but to use whichever score sheet makes you comfortable with from whatever basketball games you have will work just fine. And of course, you write all the players and positions and all that. Uh, the other thing I printed out was in their rules section here, I guess page 17 and page 16. I printed out, it came printed out, but I laminated these sheets here. One, as you can see, one chart is for block shot charts, and the other one is for rebounds. The other one are used for slow down offense, push the ball, and then intentional fouls. We're not going to use these rules here, but the block shot chart I find is probably more useful for this game. So I would have that chart handy. And another thing is they provide a timer. There are two ways to play this game for time. That you could use this actual timer here, and then I have one of my own markers here. And each time you draw a card for possession, you're just going to, move the timer, and it kind of just snakes around the timing system here. So I'm going to keep that off camera because this is such a big chart for the timer. But I'm going to use that as the timer for the game. The cards themselves, I believe there's 140 cards that come in the fast action deck or the play action deck. And you could split them into half. So that would be 70 cards. And then 70 cards would be a quarter of basketball. So 140, so that would be a half. And then you'd have to shuffle and then, do the same thing if you wanted to use the cards as a timer. But I'm going to use the actual timer that they provide. And another thing is I'm using the dice version. So I got my 2 dice here. So you need 2 6-sided dice, and then you could also have a 10-sided dice, but it's not super needed for the 10-sided dice. You could have it if you want, but a lot of the cards themselves will have a lot of the stuff noted on here of what you'll need. So sorry about the glare from the fast action cards. So what you'll do is here, so you have your teams set up. You'll make your home team and away team. We'll go through a player card, so then you kind of get the idea of what to look for when setting up your lineups. Now, one thing I'll say, I'll do this for the review, but I wish they would have had in this like maybe just a card or a sheet of some sort that told you who the starting lineups were for each team. Now, I know for this season, most of the starting lineups for most teams, but it would have been nice if they have like a separate sheet or card to tell you, some of the lineups for the teams and maybe certain substitutions and whatnot. But in any event, we go all we have, right? So for this game, each player has a card. Now, most of the game, you're going to be reading off of the cards off the player cards. Okay, so they're going to have the player's name, and then the team he played for, the year, and then they'll have his position that he prominently plays. So Clifford Robinson was a power forward prominently, but he could also play small forward and center. And then you'll have his rating here for the frequency of which he gets the ball, because in these fast action cards, they will tell you which person is getting the ball. Also, they go with the certain numbers. So if there's a card that's drawn and it shows a 4, then he would be able to get the ball, or somebody else who is a 4 on his team, like possibly also Kevin Duckworth has a 4. But anyway, like if there was a 5 drawn, then neither guy would be able to get the ball. You'd have to draw another card. But a 4 and under, then you'd be able to choose for Cliff Robinson or Duckworth, whoever's in the game. Or Drexler is a 2, so he would be a 2 and under. So that just tells you who gets the ball when those numbers are drawn. Then they have some stats here for him. So they show you, like, for the season of 89-90, he had a 9.1 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, and 0.9 assists, so barely 1 assist. So this kind of shows you, who possibly the starters were, if you, didn't want to look it up on any of those basketball sites or whatnot. You can kind of like gauge it by, okay, maybe this guy was a starter compared to somebody else. So you have that. And then you also have the DNP, which is, he did not play. He has a 0, so it looks like he played, all 82 games of the season, as opposed to, say, like Clyde Drexler on his card. He has, I'll pull it up because like Clyde Drexler has a 2-3 and a 12. So it gives you, before the game, you could roll for the players to see if they play in the game or not. And if you like, so for Cliff Robertson, he's playing in the game. There's nothing you could roll. You can't roll zeros on a dice, so he played in every game. Drexler, if you roll a 2-3 or a 12, then that means he's out for the game. He had an injury or whatever reason he's sitting out. So then you would, you wouldn't be able to play him. So that's an optional rule if you want to do that. And then, so I see some guys, they might have it where you might do maybe 2 players at most that could sit out, due to injury. But that's how you would factor in if you want to do injuries or not. Then you also have rest. So always the elephant in the room, or the mouse in the room, whichever you want to call it, is always, of course, in basketball games you have substitutions. And so this game is no different. It has its own substitutions. So for Cliff Robinson, for the game, he needs to rest 18 minutes for the game. So you have to will have to keep track of like his minutes, of like how much time he's resting. I actually will have these cards here from Replay Basketball. I'm just going to use those on the side for the bench. And, each time a minute goes by, 2 minutes, and I know exactly how much the bench is resting. And so that's how I'll keep track. Now, he needs 18 minutes for the game. As you can see here in the brackets, he played 19 minutes a game. So that's what that kind of probably averages out to. And the 18 minutes, you could kind of break it down if you want to do 9 minutes for the half, 9 minutes for the second half. You could do that, I guess, and I think they instruct you in the rules that you could break it in half. Like Clyde Drexler, we'll go back to Clyde Drexler here. He needs 6 minutes for the game, so you could get away with probably resting him in a quarter and then probably play him for the rest of the game, because this is for the full game, not just a half. So for a half, you'd have to try and rest him at least 3 minutes. If you have maybe if Portland has a good lead, you could try and rest them, the 6 minutes, and then boom, you got them for the rest of the game if you want to, try and do it that way, But it's up to you. Like, you'll have to decide how you want to do your substitutions. And then there's also the forced shot category. So forced shots are if there is 3 passes made. So here's a pass. So if your team gets 3 passes, then it could be a potential shot clock violation, especially if it's on the defensive column, which you might have to roll for the other player. So if it's on the defensive column, then it's just if you get 3 of those, and that's the last one, then it'd be a shot clock violation. But if you get it in the offense, a pass, then you have, if it's a third time, then your player has the potential to shoot a forced shot. So the first one is resulting on the inside, and the second column, the 2 to 4, is resulting on the outside, which is the like a 3-pointers. So you have the option. If it was on the inside here, you got the pass, and you'd have to roll on the first column. Because his is on the second column, then you could roll for a potential 3, or you could decide you could take the inside shot if you want. It would be up to you. Then they have their defensive rating. So a one is all right, I guess. The if you're under a 1, then you're, I guess, a better defensive player. I think they change these ratings in future sets. Something I have to understand a little more. It's nothing really particular to the game, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you has the A for assists. So when there ever is what's called, like, I think it's called supplemental assists, which you get on the fast action cards. So when you flip a card, and then it'll say assist. Here it says assist shooting guard 23. So let's pretend he was a shooting guard. So his rating is a 6. So he would not get this because he needs a 23. It would be a 23 and under. So for him, he would need a 6 and under and able to get his to get an assist. So that's how that would work. That's how you get the assist. Ball handling comes into effect maybe with some of the other charts when you might have to check the ball handling, but nothing really as far as the gameplay that I've noticed. Then you have your OR, offensive rebounding. So he's a 13. Defensive rebounding, he's a 14. Then you have your inside column. So when you roll 2 6-sided dice and he rolls, let's say, a 6, then 1 to 6, he's shooting on the inside. So that would check that. Then you'd have to roll the dice again. You roll a 6, then you would see that it's a missed basket. So that's how you check for inside and outside. 8 to 10, he's shooting from the outside. Then you'd roll the 2 dice to see what did he get on the outside. F is for the fast break column. So this is the fast break. Whenever there's a fast break, you would roll on this column. And then if the cards tell you that it's the defense column, so the player that he's guarding, you would roll on his card to see what their result is for on offense. And then you also have on the bottom here free throws. So he's good with a 2 to 6 or an 8. His 3-pointers, so he's a 2 to 5 for 3-pointers. F3 is F3 is for the fast break shots there for 3-pointers. So that's what these ratings are, 2 to 5 and 11. And then if it's for the other defensive guy who he's guarding, then they get this rating instead of their own rating for shooting threes because he's guarding them however tightly by these numbers here. So that essentially, and then you have the other wording here. So on the charts here, assist. If this gets rolled, then he gets an assist. That's an automatic basket. So then you'd have to find out who the other guy was that he assisted. So then you would you could roll dice or whatnot. All I would do is just check the fast action cards, the play action cards, and I would look at the bottom and just see like, he made an assist and it's to the shooting guard. So that's how I solve who he passed to. I just use those cards and not roll any dice. I think they even say that in the rule book. Obviously, a basket is a basket, so then he scores a basket. Then you could check if there was anyone assisting. Then there's the passing that we talked about. So this tells you, that he's passing the ball. Then you'd have to flip for another possession to see who gets the possession on your team. 3-point attempt. If there's a 3-point attempt, then you'd have to roll in this column here to shoot the 3. Turnovers obviously go to the other team. 3-point attempt. We talked about that. F2 is a foul. So if there's an F2, then you would check the card here, F2 assign, and then it would say, this says defender, so he would draw a foul, and then it would be on the defender, like say Scottie Pippen or whatever that's guarding him, his direct defender. So that's what you would do for F2s. BF plus F1 is a basket plus the foul, so you score the basket, then he gets to roll a free throw. And pretty much that's, everything else. Steal turns into a fast break, and then these P's are also passes. The pass star, I believe, is a little different. Yeah, sorry. So so the P's on the fast break are to show that the fast break was stopped. They have to make a pass. So then these P's actually do not count towards your 24-second shot clock. This pass, though, is something that you would make a pass, and sometimes there is guys that have a number beside their X here. So if he had, say, he has his 4-star, but then let's say he had a 3, so then you can make a check to see if he gets the pass directly to him. This works in cases of guys like Will Chamberlain, who always were like really ball dominant, and they would have that number. But none of these guys in this game have a number beside their X number here, so then you would just make a pass. And you have a turnover, offensive foul. So that's him committing an offensive foul, and everything else I think should be straightforward. Block, block. Then I would roll on the block shot chart for me personally, and F1 is just a foul on that defender. So anyways, so that's pretty much notation of the cards and what they do. That's all explained in the rule book, and then of course you have your fast action cards here. So again, I'm gonna flip this over. It'll tell me, who gets the ball. So a card like this shows you, you give it to the small forward. This is used for fast break to tell you who gets on the fast break. Then you have this number. These are primarily maybe used for if you're playing just the cards and not the dice. You could actually just use the cards. So this is the D6s rolled together, making this number here, and this is a single D6 number. So if you ever need sometimes a number, you can just look at the cards, or you could roll dice. It'd be totally up to you. So we're just going to get into the game here, and I will show you some mechanics here. I'm going to cut the deck here, so we have we'll have a fresh start here. One other thing, when you have your deck, is they have these other cards here that say dice roll only, and then on the back of them have a skip. I would take these out if you're playing with the dice version. That's what was recommended. There's 4 of them, so just take them out of your deck if you're using the dice. These are mainly used if you're playing, I believe, with the just the cards itself and not dice. Even though it says dice rolling, I'm not too entirely sure, but that's what I was told in one of the forums. But yeah, just take those out. They won't affect your game in any way. You have what you need. There are plenty of cards in this deck here. You're not going to miss those 4. Okay, so to start the game, you're going to pick who's going to be for the jump ball. I am traditionally, I use centers. One other thing I have noticed too that's also something is some players will have a 3D. So some guys on defense, they will give up a 3-point attempt like this here. So if Kevin Duckworth was guarding himself, it would show that he go for a 3-point attempt, but then there's a /P. So what that means is that it shows here that a 3D actually denotes that he didn't shoot any threes. So even if the other player is giving up a 3, this shows that he doesn't shoot a 3. So then it would be a pass, and that would go towards your shot clock. Okay, so just so that's out of the way. So we're going to have a jump ball, and I traditionally use the centers. I mean, you could use anybody you want. It's totally up to you, but I traditionally use the centers because that's what that's what you see in basketball. The taller guy jumping for the ball to get control. So Kevin Duckworth, you're going to take their offensive rating. So Kevin Duckworth is a 12. Bill Cartwright is an 11. So Kevin Duckworth will get an advantage. You're rolling D6s separately. So Duckworth will get a +1 to his dice roll. So we're just going to roll Cartwright's first here to see what he gets. He gets a 1, so Duckworth gets a +1. He's already going to beat him. So, that would be a 3. So Portland gets the ball. So I will note on the chart here that Portland won the tap. So Portland gets the ball. We start the game here. Now I would move the clock counter down, so it's at 12 minutes. It's going to go to 11:50. So I'm just doing that off screen. Okay, and you're going to flip a card. So you flip the card, and it shows center. So the center, Kevin Duckworth, he gets the ball. And then it shows defense small forward. So Kevin Duckworth has the ball, but his dice roll now is being denoted by Scottie Pippen's defensive chart. So we're going to roll the D6s here on Scottie Pippen's defense chart. Roll a 7. So 7, Pippen steals the ball from Duckworth. So I'd write that down, that Pippen stole the ball. So that's a steal for Pippen. And Duckworth, you'd write it for a turnover. And then, so it's a steal, and then there's a FB bracket. So that means Scottie Pippen gets the fast break. So we don't flip this card yet because there's still information here saying who gets the ball on the fast break. So the clock doesn't move until you flip a card. But Pippen stole the ball, and now it's a fast break, so it shows that it's going to John Paxson, the point guard. So now we roll on Paxson's fast break column here to see what he does on the fast break. So we roll. We get a 8. So an 8 is a pass. So Paxson made a pass. So now the clock would go down. So 11:39, the Bulls have possession. So it goes to Michael Jordan, and it says offense 2. So offense 2. So you go to his columns on top. You see a 1 to 5, and his shows offense 2. So we know it's on the inside. So you don't roll dice for that. Sorry, you always check the card here. The card will tell you what column it's going to. It's on the offense 2 is on the inside. So we know Jordan is rolling on the inside, and he's being guarded by Drexler. So I roll a 4 on the inside, and it's a basket and the foul. So Jordan is able to score, and he gets the foul, and it's an F1. So Michael Jordan scores 2. Took a shot, Drexler reached in, and the foul is on Clyde Drexler because it's an F1, so that goes on his defender. So Drexler commits the foul. That's his first. That's the team's first. So you'd write all that up. So now, and then Jordan has a chance to go to the free throw line to make it a 3-point play. So he needs a 2 to 9 or a 12. So he gets an 11. This is an 11 here. So this is a 6. So he gets an 11. So Jordan missed the free throw. And now on this card, it shows you free throw at the bottom here. Free throw defensive center. So Duckworth gets the rebound. So Kevin Duckworth gets the rebound. Okay, so now the clock goes down, 11:29. We flip a card. So it goes to the power forward on the Blazers. That would be Buck Williams. And Buck Williams, it shows defense. So he's being guarded by Horace Grant. So we roll on Horace Grant's defense. It's a 7. So Grant steals the ball off of Buck Williams. So Bulls playing some good D here in Portland. So Grant with a steal. Pippen and Grant with a steal each. Buck Williams committing the turnover. And it was a 7. So that, again, is a steal and a fast break. So the fast break, again, Grant kicks it out to Paxson. And we see what Paxton does on the fast break. So we roll, got a 10, and Paxton misses the shot. There's a blank, so that means Paxton took a shot he missed. This is a 2. Then it shows the rebound. So the rebound here, this is the first rebound. There's 2 rebounds that you could use even. So we haven't used this first one. So offensive high versus defensive power forward. So the offense high, so you look at all their offensive ratings for rebound. The offense high would be Horace Grant at 15 versus the defensive power forward, which is Buck Williams at 22. So Buck Williams gets the rebound. So Buck Williams gets the rebound. Write that down. All right, and then we move the times down to 11:19. So here we get one. That's a star 8. Possession star 8. There is no one on Portland that is a star 8. So we flip a card. But with that, time goes down. So now it's 11:08. That's considered a pass. So now it goes to the small forward, Jerome Kersey. And he's being guarded defense by Scottie Pippen. So Pippen, we go to his defensive card. His defensive side of the card, 12. And it's a F1. F1 is a foul. So Pippen fouled Kersey because whatever was on the defense is what Kersey's doing, and Pippen fouled him. So Pippen commits the foul. That's his first. That's the Bulls' first. And it would be out of bounds. So this would be considered a dead ball now because there was a foul. So now you can make any kind of substitution if you want. It's only 11:08 in the quarter so far. There's still 11:08. So we'll keep going here. I'll do another few possessions here, and then I'll give a review of this game here. So we will flip a card. The inbound the ball goes to Clyde Drexler. Offense 4. So he's a 1 to 5 is on the inside. So it's an inside shot. He's trying to work on Michael Jordan. Number 9 on his inside. That's a miss. Jordan playing some good defense on Drexler. He misses. Rebound, offensive center, greater than 13. Duckworth, his offensive rebounding is a 12. So he does not get that. Or offensive shooting guard / point guard. So now we go to the offensive shooting guard, which is Drexler. He's a 12. Porter's a 6. So Drexler is able to get his own rebound. So he gets an offensive rebound. And when they get an offensive rebound, you're able to automatically do an inside shot on an offensive rebound. So you roll on the inside automatically. He rolls a 6. He missed a shot again. So he missed again. He got his own rebound and missed. So he's 0 for 2. You go now to the second rebound. And we don't even flip a card yet. You go to the second rebound. And it says defense high. So the defense high would be Horace Grant because he has a 17. So Horace Grant gets the rebound. Horace Grant gets the rebound. Drexler went 0 for 2 there. So now it's Bulls ball. So we flip the card. Time goes down on the clock, down to 10:58. So now a minute has gone by because now we're at 10:58. So now we see a 3 possession. Under that it says last 3 minutes, coach's choice. But we're not in the last 3 minutes. So I'm not sure if that means game or just a quarter. I believe it's quarter, we'll say, because it doesn't say fourth quarter or anything like that. So last 3 minutes of the quarter, it would be a coach's choice. But right now it's a star 3. So the only 3-star player is Michael Jordan. He's a 5. Scottie is a 1, but Jordan is a 5. So 5 and under, he's able to get the ball. So Jordan gets the ball, but we're looking at Clyde Drexler's defense. So we roll on Clyde Drexler's defense. Jordan being guarded by Drexler, 6. And Drexler is able to steal the ball off of Jordan. So Drexler gets the steal. Jordan commits the turnover. That's his first. And that's 6. It was a steal and a fast break. So it's a fast break. And you look at the fast break. Shooting guard. So Drexler steals the ball. And now he's on the fast break. He's running down the court. He just stole the ball off Jordan's 3. And Drexler is able to jam it home. Clyde Drexler. So Drexler scores their first 2. You check the assists. Power forward 23. Buck Williams is a 5, so no assist. Drexler just stole the ball and ran it home, and he did the Clyde to glide to the basket. So now down to 10:48. Bulls ball right now, so a star 9. Nobody is a star 9. So that moves down the clock, down to 10:37. That's a pass for the Bulls. Goes to the point guard, John Paxson. Offense 7 for him. This is going to be an outside shot because he's a 3 to 10. So 7 fits within that category. So outside shot on Terry Porter. That's an 8. So he makes a pass. So clock goes down. 10:27. Makes a pass into the center. Bill Cartwright. Being guarded by the Duck, Kevin Duckworth. Offense 5. Cartwright's inside 1 to 8. So it's going to be on his inside. We roll a 9. And that's a basket for Bill Cartwright. Bill Cartwright. So Cartwright is able to score. Makes it 4 to 2. The assist. Small forward 13, Pippen. Pippen is at 18, so Pippen gets the assist. So Pippen gets the assist. And the score right now is 4 to 2 for the Bulls. 10:17 remaining. Flip a card. Goes to the Duck, Kevin Duckworth. Being guarded by Cartwright. 6. And he's able to score. Kevin Duckworth. Dun, dun. Remember they used to play that in Portland? Dun, dun, after they score. And the assist, power forward 18, Buck Williams. Nope, he's only a 5. So, 10:06 remaining in the first quarter. Ball goes to Horace Grant, being guarded by Buck Williams. 9. Makes a pass. Clock goes down. 9:56. Stays with Horace Grant. Offense 9. That's on offense 9. It's on the outside. Horace Grant guarded by Buck Williams. Look at the defense of Buck Williams. 9 for Grant. Misses the shot. Good defense by Buck Williams. So that's a miss. Rebound. Any greater than 44. Unfortunately, there's nobody greater than 44 in this game. Or team rebound defense. So ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be Portland ball. So you write down a team rebound for Portland. All right. So that's kind of the gist of how you play. The game right now is tied at 4. There's 9:56. Should we keep going? Let's do one more set till another dead ball. Here we go. So right now, 11:10. So 2 minutes have gone by. So we know the bench has rested for 2 minutes. So I just flip a card there, so I know they've rested for 2 minutes. So it's Portland ball. We flip a card. We go to small forward, Jerome Kersey. Offense 9. So that's on the outside. Kersey on the outside with Pippen. A 10. Misses a shot. Kersey misses. Rebound. Defensive center. Fast break. So Cartwright gets the rebound. And a fast break goes to the point guard, John Paxson. So Cartwright gets the rebound. Write that down. And Paxson on the fast break. The 7. And Paxson's able to score. And Paxson was able to score on that fast break. John Paxson. And the assist, Cartwright. Is he a 9 or better? Nope, he is an 8. All right, so Paxson scored on that fast break. And it is 6-4 for the Bulls. Down to 9:46 in the first quarter. Portland, star 1. So we could go to either Duckworth or Drexler. Now you could, decide if you want to, flip, roll dice or whatnot. But I'm just going to do coach's choice and just give it to Drexler because he was averaging 23 points a game as opposed to Duckworth was averaging 16. So we go to Drexler and it says offense 4. So 1 to 5. That's on the inside. He rolls a 7, and that's a basket for Clyde to glide. Clyde Drexler. And he is tied the game at 6. And assist, now it shows point guard 23. And Terry Porter's at 28, so he gets it. Terry Porter with the assist. Drexler able to score, taking a jumper over Jordan. Move the clock. 9:35 remaining in the first quarter. John Paxson with the ball, being guarded by Terry Porter. Offense 1. Paxson rolls a 4 on the inside, makes a pass. 9:25 remaining. Here's that 10 star, so that's really for guys like Will Chamberlain if he's playing. There's no one on the Bulls that has a 10 star. Should Jordan be a 10 star? But he's only a 5, so you flip the card, move the clock. 9:15. Still in Paxson's hand. Offense 10. So Paxson on the outside with Terry Porter makes a pass. Was that 9:04? Was that 2 or 3 passes already? That's 2 for sure. I can't remember if it was a third, but we'll say it's 2. Jordan, he's a star 5, so Jordan with the ball. Offense 3 on the inside. And 8. And Jordan gets the basket. Michael Jordan scoring that basket. Par 4, 25. Nope, no assist. So the score, Chicago 8, Portland 6. 9:04, or 8 down to 8:54 remaining in the first quarter. Kevin Duckworth with the ball. Offense 5. On the inside on Cartwright, 6. And the Duck is able to score. Kevin Duckworth. And he ties the game at 8. Assist, shooting guard 7, Drexler. Drexler is a 22, so Clyde Drexler with the assist. As Duckworth able to shoot that jump hook over Bill Cartwright. 8:44 remaining in the first quarter. The Bulls pass it in. Horace Grant with the ball, being guarded by Buck Williams. A 6. Buck Williams forces Grant into a jumper. Grant misses. He's 0 for 2. Rebound. Offensive small forward Scottie Pippen gets the ball. Pippen gets the rebound. That's his first offensive rebound. And Pippen going back up with the ball. 9. And he's able to make a pass as Kersey closed in. And he passes it to Jordan. And Jordan's able to score. Michael Jordan on a brilliant pass from Scottie Pippen on the inside. So Pippen gets the assist. And that's 2 assists for Pippen. 8:33 remaining in the first quarter. Small forward Jerome Kersey hit the ball. Offense 3. 9. Kersey on the inside makes a pass. 8:23 remaining in the first quarter. Star 6. Nobody on Portland. Makes another pass. Goes to Buck Williams, being guarded by Horace Grant. 8. And Grant with the block. So Buck Williams with the missed field goal. Grant with the block. That's his first block. And now here's where we'll roll on the chart here to see what happens. So I'll roll an 11. Shot blocker rebounds the ball and makes excellent outlet pass. Fast break attempt. So Grant is able to rebound the ball on that. To give him a rebound. And makes an excellent outlet pass. And so we go to the fast break. It goes to John Paxson. Paxson on the fast break. 6, 7, 8. So he makes a pass. 8:02 remaining as the Trailblazers get back. They throw it in this Bill Cartwright being guarded by Kevin Duckworth. 6. And the foul. Foul is on Kevin Duckworth. Foul is on Kevin Duckworth. That is his first. The team's second. And the Bulls will inbound. All right. I think I will stop there. So that is hoops basketball. So as you can see, it plays pretty smooth. Like once you get going, you get in a nice little flow. once I've given you guys the instructions of everything here, it gets in a nice flow. Um, Now for this review, I could only give you a review in the sense of I've played replay basketball, so that's the only other basketball game I've played besides hoops. So that's the only other game I could compare it to. I can't compare it to Mickey's Fast Break because I've never played Mickey's Fast Break. I've seen Rod play Mickey's Fast Break, but I've never played it myself. So I can only really compare this to replay basketball. But this is its own game, so I don't want to, really compare it to. I want to, give it its own review for in its own right. So, so some things I'll say the negatives about the game, and then I'll go into the positives, right? Um, so first off, we'll talk about like the production of things, right? So one thing I was disappointed with, with other basketball games, like say like replay, you get a nice box here, with the cover and that. You get a nice box. This came in this blank box here with no writing or nothing. Like I guess you could do your own writing, your own, picture if you want. It's a nice box, but like it'd be nicer if there was more production value, that there was more of a logo or something, and not just a plain box, right? So that's one small negative about the game. I'm buying from ASG that you're just gonna get like this blank box here to go on your shelf, essentially. The other thing was the rules were kind of just, they weren't stapled or nothing. I had to put my own staples in. And again, I mean, you could do this. It's not, this is not game breaking stuff here, or, like don't buy this or anything. I'm just kind of just giving you the realisms of when you purchase from here. Because again, like a game like Replay Basketball, rules are in a nice, booklet type, and you're getting a nice box. So the production value for one game to the other is completely different. Okay. Another thing is with these cards, they come all together. You have to sort them out. Like Replay, they're all sorted out for you. They're all they got rubber bands for all the teams and stuff like that. This one, they only give you a certain amount of rubber bands, and then you're on your own, get your own rubber bands to keep your teams together and stuff like that. So again, this is a lot of this is from the production side of things, right? That's kind of, I guess, a bit frustrating with the game. So I think as far as the production, those are the main negatives I have. And then the cards are nice. The cards are really nice. They're a nice stock. Again, when I was talking earlier, it'd have been nice if they would have had each team has their own card with, like the players, like maybe the starting lineup. Again, compared to Replay Basketball has a card that has, the starting lineup on it and what they average per game. So you kind of knew, who plays what minutes and how many shot attempts and they do that there, and this doesn't. And again, these are things that are not a knock on the game itself, but just like, could these things maybe be stepped up in production? I know like they already have quite a few seasons, so it'd be hard to go back and do a lot of these things for those types of seasons. They probably don't even want to do that. But again, some of these things though, like this is what could set your game apart or make it even more special, right? If they would do some of those things. And again, this is just, a commentary about their card and dice. If you buy their computer version, again, you don't have to worry about all this kind of stuff, right? But if you are a card and dice player, you want things to look nice. You want, you want a nice production, that you're investing your money in. I mean, this game is not expensive, especially coming to Canada. I paid over over 100, and I think it was $122 for this game with the shipping and the conversion. So again, you want your money's worth when you buy a product, right? Um, so these are little nitpicks I have, and then the game here, as you can see, it's not even really fitting on the camera for me. Like this game, some people said it's a small footprint. I mean, it is compared to a lot of different games out there of sorts, but it does take up a little bit of space. Not everything is fitting on this video here to show you everything, and and then there's not a finished like background. Like I'm using my own cardstock, or my son's cardstock here to like be the background for the game. Otherwise, you just have these cards on your table. Like there's no background here. Like Replay has its own little background to put the cards in and their positions and stuff. Like this here, you put your cards in whatever position. I was just kind of even going by what Replay does, where the power forward, small forward, center, point guard, shooting guard. I'm kind of going by like what they do for their for their setup. Even before Replay Basketball, I would just have it from point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. That's how positions 1 through 5 in that way. But Replay has it in this order here, and I kind of just kept the order because now I'm used to that now with Replay Basketball. So there's no real background type thing to make the game more I guess fleshed out or more finished. I guess like it doesn't seem finished in that way. But the cards are nice. The card stock is nice and everything. These cards are really nice. They have a gloss finish to them. They're a nice card stock. Again, so again, like you're getting a nice product, but there's just little touches to it that can make it even better. Where you're like, yes, let me continue to get more stuff from them because I know, it's going to be really nice product here, and it looks nice, right? So yeah, that's my little nitpicks as far as the production of the game itself. Now the gameplay, as you can see, it plays great. The game flows really nice. The dice go really nice once you know what everything means in the charts, and it's really easy. Like once you read through the rule book and you've read like the terms and for each thing, then the game plays pretty nice. The only thing I would say sometimes like the cards themselves, like so they had the greater than 44 number there for a rebound. Like that's like, okay, like really? Or sometimes they'll have a card like this where it's like offensive power forward versus defensive power forward, and then a plus. A plus means you would roll a dice, and that would be added to his score for a rebound. So sometimes you don't really need it. Like in this case, like Grant is a 15, Buck Williams is a 22. So you don't even really need to roll this plus. So I find like the plus for a lot of the things are not really needed kind of thing. Like they're already, some guys are just naturally already rebounded, kind of, already naturally high in their stats kind of deal, So I find that, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it probably is. Maybe there's different sets where, it does work out. Where all that extra dice roll on the rebound battle, that helped that one guy, But sometimes it just doesn't work out kind of thing, It's not really needed. So again, these are just small nitpicks. Overall, the game plays nice. The stats I find are like really, really, really nice. Like right now, like the stats are really nice because right now, like, so far in this particular game, Jordan is 3 for 3. Compared to Replay Basketball, for him to maybe have scored is 6 points, he might have taken 8 shots. So he might be 3 of 8 in Replay Basketball for 6 points. As opposed to this one, he's like 3 of 3 right now, and it's, I don't know, it seems like a little more realistic to his field goal shooting. Replay, sometimes you flip a card, like say like for maybe Steph Curry, and Steph Curry has like say I don't know, a 28 rating, and then you keep flipping for Curry and it's like, oh, you got a 51, he missed. Oh, you got a 45, he missed. This one, it's like it's more boom, it's more direct, like it's more uh, in the game kind of thing, and I appreciate that. I like that I like that the stats are like more, they seem more realistic of sorts, and it's not that, and again, comparing it to replay, it's not that replay doesn't have realistic stats, but it's just, I guess the way of going about getting the stats are different, and this one, I don't know, it just seems a little more straightforward as opposed to replays stats. I appreciate both though. You do get the real stats out of replay basketball, but for this one too, like again, like it's just a little more straightforward. I would think in a way, if you kind of catch me, like, you know what I mean, like you roll the dice, boom, the stat is there. You roll the dice again for like a 3-pointer, 2 to 5, oh, 4. It fit within his 3-pointer. He got it, kind of thing. Like he has a chance. Porter was a good 3-point shooter, but you know what I mean. Like it fit. The stats kind of fit the number for his shooting. Sometimes replay the stats. I mean, they fit, but sometimes guys miss a lot to get their number. That makes sense, kind of deal. Uh, so I appreciate the stats in this game. Like, and the stats are really done well. Somehow, like the guys get their stats. So I played a few games of it, and I really enjoy keeping the stats and how you get the stats, and then the numbers that they do get. So I do appreciate the realism of the game. You can see that there's a lot of care and a lot of, each guy is different and geared towards their counterpart in real life, right? So, uh, again, these are really good things, and another negative I would say is the score clock. Like in replay they have a really smaller clock, and you get the job done. I've seen Rod; he had to resize his score clock, to make it smaller. So it'd be nice if it would just been a smaller clock. They do laminate this nice sheet here. That's one of the first things you get is a nice laminated score clock, but it just would have been nicer to have it smaller, right? Because then it just would fit into your game print here, a little more conveniently, and not kind of just off to the side kind of deal. But again, overall, you're getting a nice, really good game. And then one other thing, obviously, too, that with all basketball games is the substitutions. Again, you're gonna have to keep track of the substitutions. You're gonna have to, write on the back of your sheet or count pegs, have dice counters, whatever you do for your substitutions. You're gonna have to do that, to track the minutes. So again, for some people, that's always a pain to track minutes for substitutions, and unfortunately, it's not really answered here. It's really funny. I kind of, when I was watching the gameplay for these games, I kind of always thought this game was a lot faster than replay, but some ways it's actually about the same. It's like basketball games are just long games, right? And unless you're playing some sort of play now game, or a downy quick play, kind of game. A lot of basketball games are just usually they play long because you're getting full stats, full details. Then it depends on if you want to keep the full stats for your game or not. I do. I like to see, who had offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, missed free throws, all that, missed shots. I keep every stat, and I enjoy seeing that. I appreciate that. If you're not into that, then your game might go a lot faster. If you don't mind not tracking a lot of those stats, but I track those stats, so maybe that's what makes my games a little longer. But I'm not gonna cower away from a game like this or replay basketball. I love playing the games and seeing the stats come out and keeping the tallies and stuff like that. So that doesn't scare me. But it's just the realism of the game. I know there's going to be guys out there that say they play this within an hour. I would love to see, please, somebody, please make a video Please show me that you play one of these games in an hour. I would love to see it. Please, I'm challenging anyone out there. Do it, please. I want to see it. And I say this in a friendly voice, not to be like, oh, you don't play a game in an hour. But if you say you do, I would love to see a video and just be like, wow, you're amazing. You played one of these games. I would love to see it. But every other guy I've seen make videos on these, when they do their tutorials and stuff like that, the first quarter took an hour or close to an hour, right? So, or at least 45 minutes, right? And then they're extra talking and whatnot. But, you get the gist, right? So, again, for me, not a problem. I don't mind playing it. I come back to the game. I don't mind doing that. Because I love basketball. I was a basketball fan, and I love the game. I love watching basketball, and especially playing this older set because this is from my time period of watching. Then I don't mind, putting in the time and seeing the game play out and writing out the stats. So yeah, so overall the gameplay is really easy. The cards are easy to read. They tell you everything, and they have the extra rules. If you want to get real deep into this, you have extra rules. Again, there's stuff for intentional fouling and whatnot, and then there's also rules for let's see here. So yeah, you could change defensive matchups if you want. So if you don't, you have your matchups here. If you want to put down bingo chips and say like, okay, well, Jordan is guarding Porter, so you can put on a bingo chip to show that, on defense, that's who he's got. I mean, you could do that kind of stuff in this game. So that's pretty cool. There's holding for last shot and double teams and stuff like that, playing safe. So, once you get comfortable playing the game and you want to try and make it even more realistic, you have that option to go deeper into it and make it more realistic. But for now, like for what it is, for what the starter game is, for me, I am very happy playing it the way it is right now, and maybe see down the road, if I want to get into those types of rules, then at least the option is there for you. And as far as seasons go, they have all kinds of different seasons, from ABA, early 60s, I believe, all the way to current, but not a lot of stuff like in the, I would say like the 90s. The 90s stuff is kind of missing. Like they have the 92 season, the 96 season. The 96 season, I will probably purchase for this. The 96 season, as well as the current NBA season going on right now with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets and all those teams like that. I'll probably purchase those two seasons, and I'll probably call it quits for this because I will have 3 full seasons of teams and that. There are greats from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I believe, and all that you could purchase if you don't want to buy seasons. And you also could buy this as a PDF if you're into printing out your cards. You're able to do that, but again, that still costs money because then you'd have to, unless you do it on your own, you're able to cut your cards nice. Otherwise, if you take it to some Staples or wherever, you're going to get charged for all that cards that you have to cut out and that. So this figure that into your cost of purchasing, whether you want to do that or not. These here for me, like these are definitely, you must probably purchase these from their site. Get these professionally cut out. But yeah, overall, great game, easy to play. Just again, a little long, but still worth the time, still worth the effort. All the teams that you want to play. There's so much replayability with any kind of team that you play with or whatever. If you play a season or a series or whatever, you're gonna get your money's worth out of this, and it plays really nice, easy to go through. So. So this is Hoops. It's a really good game, guys. Support ASG. They have a bunch of other games I've never really seen. They also have actually a sister game to this. They call it. I believe it's like CB2K, I think, which is college basketball. And they have a bunch of teams for that, and it's a little more simplified, even like one less column or a couple less columns. Really easy to play. But again, the NBA is uh, my jam here, so I will stick with the NBA. But yeah, great game, guys. And yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about it. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's hoops. I hope this explains it, or you got the gist of it from this video. And yeah, so thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, comments about the game, please feel free to leave them. I'll try and answer as best as I can. And I just thank you to all my subscribers, all my supporters. I thank you for just sticking with me. Again, I don't make videos all the time, but when I do, I thank you for your support if you stuck around. And I know there's so much other content I could make, but again, it's always hard in the day to try and make videos, and you have your job and your family and da da da. But I try and make them when I can. So thanks again for watching, guys. This was Hoops Basketball playthrough and a review. If you have any questions, feel free again to leave them in comments. So thanks again for watching. Support the other YouTubers out there. I appreciate all you guys out there. Take care, guys. God bless. See you in the next video.